Hello, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Let me share the screen. So the title of my talk is on the possibility of stimulated Hawking radiation from negative index metamaterial dielectric composite. The work is done with Abhijit Bera and we are from Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. So this is the plan of the talk. Introduction, then I'll describe briefly what is negative index metamaterial or NIM in short, then the Hamilton-Jacobi scheme and complex path formalism, then the particular model that we have proposed, negative index metamaterial, that is NIM dielectric composite. This is the analog model, then results and a brief discussion. In fact, the motivation of this work is that besides the established analog models, for instance, Bose-Einstein condensate or waves in fluid in opposing flow, cold atoms. So these are quite well established, and the investigation of the research now is here in quite in an advanced stage with many details being considered. Whereas what we have proposed is another alternative option that is always interesting, but this is in a very preliminary stage, so that we have just proposed a model and sort of derived a very basic result for Hawking temperature and so on. So that we will discuss. Okay. So in introduction, as is well known, analog gravity scenario pioneered by Unruh in fluid system, which he named as coined as a dumb hole, and later extended to diverse other physical systems. There are excellent reviews. Generic underlying principle is that dynamics of the relevant degree of freedom in the analog system can be cast in the conventional form of dynamics in an effective curved spacetime. The analog need not have any direct connection to general relativity or gravitation. This allows the identification of an effective metric constructed out of parameters of the analog for analog system, in short. Analog black hole and possibility of Hawking temperature, Hawking radiation that we are interested in, this will be possible only if the effective metric of the analog has a horizon where the metric coefficients become singular. And of course, preferably the analog system should be possible to construct the analog in a laboratory. This is of course of interest. However, we in this talk will propose a slightly different route. So before going to that, let me briefly discuss what is negative index metamaterial or NIM in short. Now the theoretical development was done actually quite long ago by Veselago, who realized that if a material has that has the dielectric properties mu, that is permeability, and epsilon permittivity, to be simultaneously negative, then that can give rise to negative refractive index. Much later, this has been more concretized, and in this work by Define and Laktakia, that if the dielectric parameters, which in general are dispersive and dissipative, if I write them in terms of its real and imaginary values, that epsilon is epsilon r plus I epsilon I imaginary, and mu is also mu r plus I mu I, then if both ER and mu r are simultaneously negative in the same frequency band, then this type of condition will be satisfied. And if that is epsilon r into modulus of mu plus mu r into modulus of epsilon, this will obviously be less than 0, that is negative. If this is satisfied, then this will be a negative index metamaterial or NIM, so that the refractive index will pick up the negative root of this standard definition of refractive index. Now of course, this type of material with negative refractive index has remarkable properties and applications. That is negative refraction and corresponding Snell's law, that is light will refract in the reverse direction, but that is negatively, at interface between a NIM and a conventional dielectric. That okay. Then there will be reversal of Doppler effect and Cherenkov radiation. Now there are numerous commercial, both in physical, theoretical and commercial applications of NIM, that is electromagnetic invisibility cloaks, super resolution imaging, electromagnetic concentrators and light trapping, metamaterial computer. This I saw very recently in a sort of news item, metamaterial computer for integral equations and so on. But actually the interest in metamaterial, although it was theoretically proposed much earlier, the interest actually was generated much later after the laboratory construction of NIM. That is, this type of material is not found naturally and are artificially created. Some of the very fundamental works in both theory and applications are by Pendry, perfect lens. Then this group of first construction of NIM. Then they showed this experimental verification of negative refractive index. Then Leonard, the electromagnetic invisibility cloaks, and so on. There are some of these are given here. Okay. So after the introduction of NIM, let me now go to one specific example how this type of NIM and dielectric composite can behave in a particular situation. Although, as I say, this is not directly connected to what we are proposing regarding Hawking temperature and Hawking radiation. But still, this is one example. Quantum field theory in NIM dielectric composite. Suppose I have a electromagnetic field in an anisotropic medium. The wave equation for the Z component, in case where say epsilon Z is epsilon 1 and epsilon X and epsilon Y equal to some another epsilon 2. So the wave equation will look like something like this, that del 2 del T square and 1 over epsilon 1 del Z and 1 over epsilon 2 X and Y. Now in normal dielectric, of course, epsilon 1 and 2 are both positive, but in NIM, epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 can have different signs. And this difference in signature, this can be related to a signature change in flat background spacetime. That is, electromagnetic wave in a NIM dielectric composite will encounter a signature change as they pass from say NIM to dielectric or vice versa. And this type of, in general, quantum field theory in signature changing background was actually studied earlier. And the authors proposed a huge number of particle production. Now in NIM dielectric composite, a similar particle production was also proposed theoretically as a flash of light emission by Smolyan, Inov and Narimanov. However, as I said, this is not connected to the analog Hawking effect. Okay. Now, if you come to our work, that is by Bera and myself, the semi-classical, we have done the work in a semi-classical framework, that is Hamilton-Jacobi complex path, Hamilton-Jacobi formalism complex path method with analog Hawking effect in NIM dielectric composite. Now earlier related works, we in fact tried we attempted once, but it was not quite successful. However, very interesting to our purposes and relevant to our purpose is the work by Reznik. We will come to this work later also at the end, but just to mention, the Reznik paper specifically mentions material with negative permittivity and permeability, but interestingly does not use the name metamaterial. In fact, Professor Reznik in an email mentioned to me that he actually was not aware of the idea of development of parallel development of metamaterial. So he just proposed this the possibility and its behavior. The Reznik paper derives analog Hawking temperature and radiation at junction of negative and positive index material. The paper considers ingoing and outgoing modes with proper boundary conditions in the derivation, computes thermal spectrum from Bogoliubov coefficients, and although, as we will show later, Reznik's formalism is different from ours, but results are comparable. So I just mentioned the very well-known work by Parikh and Wilczek because our work is also has similarities, but important differences with this work also, our formalism. That is in Parikh and Wilczek's paper, the the Hawking radiation occurs because one particle from a pair created just inside or just outside the horizon can come out while the other is absorbed by the black hole. Okay. Energy is conserved since mass of black hole decreases as it absorbs the negative energy particle. It uses plane leaf coordinates, no singularities at horizon. Imaginary part of action for the S wave particle that crosses the horizon is calculated. And it gives the results of black hole entropy, Hawking temperature, thermal spectrum of Hawking radiation, and non-thermal correction generated by back reaction. Our procedure has similarities and differences with this formalism. So we will follow very closely the formalism by Srinivasan and Padmanabhan, which I write in short as SP. So the SP, the action is constructed in Hamilton-Jacobi framework. The formalism applies to Schwarzschild-like spacetimes. Method of complex path analysis. Similar method is used to describe tunneling process in semi-classical quantum mechanics. The calculations are, this is important, that the calculations are done in TR coordinate of the standard Schwarzschild metric. Coordinate singularity at the horizon appears as a singularity in the semi-classical propagator of the scalar field. Prescription to regularize singularity is that recovers the Hawking temperature, and equivalence, it can also be shown that this has an equivalence with effective Schrodinger equation with a singular effective potential. And in this way also the Hawking temperature can be calculated. The advantage of SP formalism for our purpose is that no change in coordinate system, the TR coordinates are allowed, and also the method is applicable in deriving Hawking effect in non-covariant framework that we have shown in another work using Jacobi metric formalism. It will be apparent as we proceed, the SP requires the least amount of information that are specific to quantum field theory near a black hole. But the essential requirement, of course, of SP is that the system should have a horizon-like behavior in its parameters. Okay. So now I quickly discuss the Hawking radiation as formulated in the SP paper, because we will be using directly some of these relations. So suppose we have a line element which is in RT coordinates, which is where the B function has a horizon and depends only on R, of course, R and T, and it depends only on R. So at R0 is the horizon where the first derivative is non-zero, and here it is considered as positive. So near horizon B, the function can be expanded in this way to first order. The equation for a scalar field phi with mass m0 in this spacetime metric is given by this type of relation, which is expanded in this way. Then a semi-classical or WKB wave function is proposed by making the answers for phi e to the power I by h bar s, where s is the action. Then the equation satisfied by s is can be written in a straightforward way in this way. Then the s is expanded in powers of h bar. So this S1 is the first order, then H2 second and so on. Now we substitute this here, and neglecting terms of order H bar and higher, one gets an equation satisfied by S0, that is given in this way. Del S0 1 by B del S0 del T square minus B del S0 del R square minus M0 square equal to 0. This is actually the Hamilton-Jacobi equation for particle of mass m moving in the space-time, the prescribed space-time. The solution can be written as in this way. So it is with the separation of T and R, there is E bar T, where E bar is identified as the particle energy. This is the integral between this. Okay. Now the near horizon behavior, that is, we can in the near horizon, since B is equal to B is 0 at near horizon, so we can drop this term because we are interested in the integral close to the horizon. So then we have this equation. Now for black hole spacetime, the singularity appearing in the action is due to the presence of the horizon. That is very clear. Now, of course, the detailed discussion is given in the SP's paper on equivalence with one-dimensional. As I said, that this has an equivalence with a one-dimensional Schrodinger equation, also with a singular potential at the horizon. But we are not going to that. And the same complex path formalism is also used in, say, theory of optics and so on. This wide applicability prompted us actually to apply this formalism in our analog model. So we assume that for a system with H0 as satisfying this type of equation with a horizon, similar conclusions as this should prevail. Okay. So again, returning, continuing with SP paper, the sign convention is that del H0 del I is positive for outgoing particle, and del H0 del I is negative for incoming or ingoing particle. And so we can, the calculation is given by this. For an outgoing particle crossing the horizon, this H0 is given by this, which has the expression I pi E bar by R, capital R. For ingoing particle, similarly, the result is with a minus sign, H0 absorption. So then, okay, as I said, the details are given in the paper, so we are not going to that. So then, the contour is taken as a infinitesimal semicircular circle above the pole at R0. Now, this gives us the probability of emission as e to the power minus 2 pi E bar by H bar R, capital R. The absorption is same factor with a plus sign. And so the probability of emission is given by this quantity multiplied probability of absorption. This exponential dependence on the energy allows a thermal interpretation. And in a system with a temperature 1 by beta, the absorption and emission probabilities are related by this type of an equation, so that this beta can be identified with this factor. So one has 1 by beta, that is Kt, where K is the Boltzmann constant, as equal to H bar R by 4 pi. So this will be the working formula in our case also. So now we come to the electrodynamics in a non-uniform medium. That is what we want to discuss. So we have Maxwell's equations in dielectric medium free of charge and current, given in this way: divergence D, divergence B as 0, del cross E and del cross H are given by this. These are the constitutive relations. So I now give the work in spherical polar coordinates, and the displacement vector and B induction are given in terms of the constitutive relations. That is, D is epsilon 1 ER and d theta d phi. Similarly for B, BR d theta b phi. But we restrict the epsilon functions and mu functions being to be functions of R only. So this gives us the expanded from these equations, which are still quite complicated. And so for simplicity, we further restrict that epsilon I to be one function epsilon, a function of R, and mu I to be one function as mu of R. So then we finally obtain the wave equation for the electric vector field. That is given by del square of E minus del 2 del T square, and these extra terms coming from the variations of epsilon and mu and so on. There will be a similarly an equation for H also. So then we explore the spherical symmetry of our system and expand electric field in terms of vector spherical harmonics. We thank Professor Ted Jacobson for suggesting this. And so then we expand these in terms of this. These are spherical vector harmonics, vector spherical harmonics, which are defined in this way, in terms of real normal spherical harmonics. So with this, then after some messy algebra, we obtain the equation, say, for ER, and similarly for E1 and E2 also, the other components of E also. But then we further restrict to the S wave, that is where L and M are 0. So then we obtain a much simplified equation, which is given by this. Now we consider the epsilon and mu dielectric parameters to be functions of R in this particular functions in this form, where this BR will have a horizon satisfying this type of relation. And we define C0 as the sort of speed of light in this particular medium. So then again we follow the same procedure that is of SP paper, that is we write E as e to the power I by H bar S, and then expand and then so on. After going through this calculation for S0, we obtain a similar type of equation, which again with a solution which is again similar to the one that we showed for the SP paper. And it has a solution like this, and this is structurally same as the earlier equation for black hole that we showed earlier for the SP paper. So then we can also do an compute an effective Schrodinger equation if I substitute for E this type of relation, And then this Shire satisfies Schrodinger-like equation with a potential that has a singularity at the horizon. And in this way also the Hawking temperature can be calculated, but we will not go into that. Instead, we follow the analog gravity case in our case also. So now we propose in our NIM dielectric composite, the BR function will be something like this. That is, it can mimic the Schwarzschild-like behavior metric. That is, it will be positive for R greater than R0 and negative for R less than R0 with the horizon at R0. So thus, in the disc-shaped dielectric material composite that we have, the core region, that is, say R is greater than R is between R0 and 0, will be of inhomogeneous metamaterial because epsilon will be negative, whereas the region R outside R0 will consist of normal dielectric. So then this will be the behavior, that is epsilon starts from 0 at R0, increases to negative values up to, actually it will diverge at R0, and then again for R greater than R0 it is positive and decreases and saturates at R0. So for the idealized model, some sort of a regularization should be possibly is needed for this singularity. But anyway, in the idealized case, so for photons crossing the analog horizon, we have a similar type of relation. H0 out is I pi E by R0. Then for H0 in also we have a similar relation as before. And so again we have this type of a thermal relation between probability out and probability in. So this will again give rise to an analog Hawking temperature at the horizon, which is given by, for instance, this type of behavior. So from this we can calculate the Hawking temperature, analog Hawking temperature given by this. So we can write it in this way also, in a sort of more suggestive way, that is, we isolate this type of universal factor constant, and write that this T, analog T, is given by 1 by R0n. So R0 was the radius at the horizon, and n is the refractive index. And this C is the velocity of light in vacuum. And we can compare it with the relation for Hawking temperature, where also we have written it in the same way. So here in the right hand side we have the mass and the gravitational constant of the black hole. Now let us quickly return to Reznik's work. Reznik uses a different geometry, that is, the epsilon and mu are functions of 1 by z with alpha the parameter. And so electric wave considered in this material, and then he comes up with a relation which is given by this, that is T Reznik is given by Ch bar alpha by 2 pi k, or if you write it in our way, then 4 pi kappa by Ch by T Reznik is 2 alpha, and this alpha is the dimension of 1 by length. So this is actually sort of comparable with the result that we have also derived using the complex path method. So we have derived the analog Hawking temperature at the junction. The ambient electromagnetic field energy will act as the source of the radiation. We use the path of Srinivasan and Padmanabhan, and we corroborate our result is important with Reznik paper. The geometry of the composite and the theoretical framework of Reznik and ours are different, but the results are comparable. So there are important shortcomings in our work because we have not, one important point is that we have not taken into account two very important aspects of metamaterial. These are the NIM and are inherently dispersive and lossy. So these should be taken into account. The other is that our model, okay. So our model and results are actually valid for a narrow range of frequency and negligible loss. The other thing is that we have assumed tacitly that the validity of Maxwell electrodynamics for singular dielectric parameters. This is also might be questioned. So I just mentioned one interesting point that Narimanov and Kildyshev also proposed a form of optical analog black hole using metamaterial, and this was actually later constructed and experimentally verified by this group. But interestingly, the metamaterial way which is used here does not have a negative permittivity or permeability. So actually it has this type of behavior, and let me mention that this brings us to the modern definition of metamaterial, that is Professor Narimanov mentioned to me in an email, that by definition metamaterials are artificial composite structures with a unit cell that is much smaller than the corresponding free space wavelength. And in fact, the metamaterial definition does not relate to any signs or magnitudes of any of its electromagnetic response functions. So the conclusion is that we want to have a question, pose a question that the analog Hawking effect that we have discussed probably will not be manifest for a fully dielectric metamaterial of this form, uh, which has the properties of an analog black hole and metamaterial, but may not show the analog Hawking effect. So I conclude here and thank you very much.